Welcome, everybody, to another, or I should say, a new episode of Paranormal Diner. I'm your host, Jahil. I am excited to be here. I have a fantastic guest in the wings, a good friend of mine. I've known her for some years now. Taryn Kerper of Paranormal Brew. Um, Also, she's a paranormal investigator, researcher. Her face has kind of been a little bit everywhere um, on some TV as well as her own show, Paranormal Brew, which I really like, and I think I'm going to be a guest next week on that. So I'm looking forward to that. So without further ado, let's see here. I want to be able to get the right setting here. So, dun, 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 dun.
Oop.
And there she is.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm doing very good. How are you?
I'm good. Um, yeah, it's just been it's been a excuse me, it's been a busy couple weeks. I've been doing other shows and whatnot. I've been working on my metal show, my other podcast, and that's been taking up quite a bit of my time. But I wanted to get back into my paranormal shows because I miss talking to my paranormal people, and you are one of my main paranormal people.
Aw,
I should say
same.
persons.
Wait, I have a question. You're doing a metal, you like a metal music, like metal.
Yeah, like heavy metal,
Um.
more like thrash metal. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I
So
have somebody that's like
yeah, so
obsessed with Metallica, and and I say that in a loving way, but he knows a lot about Metallica. He's met them like so many times. It's like
right, right.
but
And actually, that's one of the groups or one of the members I'm trying to get onto my Metal Freedom podcast. And I have to go through certain channels to be able to do that because of the fact that there's people involved that control their social media and all that. And
mm,
so I have to kind of go through the channels to do that. And uh, sometimes I'll get a response and then sometimes I'll just get ignored because, I'm a nobody, So but
you're
I mean,
not
there's people that really,
say that.
there's people that like my shows and this and that. So, but I wanted to be able to get back into the whole paranormal thing, and I as of late, I don't know what's gotten into me, but I've been like binge watching Ghost Hunters,
Yeah. Well,
and
it's one of the best shows.
I kind of gave all those ghost shows up a while ago, and one of these days, or one of these shows, I should say, that really caught my attention was the Ghost Brothers,
Hmm.
and I really liked that show.
Yeah, the old Ghost
And
the old Ghost Brothers, I love for sure. Like their show, yeah.
yeah, and I mean, it's just been, I love all those guys, and I've been trying to get some of those guys on my other paranormal show podcasts, but it's just been, I don't know what it is. For some reason, I've got this itch to watch all these shows, and I don't know. I think
Well,
I've been
Jay
binge
Jay
watching them for
Jay
a couple
has
weeks.
Jay's been doing his YouTube channel too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, and there's a couple different shows that I've watched, and there's shows that I don't watch anymore, and I just I don't know. It just I got this itch to watch paranormal shows, and it's kind of funny, and it's like okay, and so anyways, were you just in Gettysburg?
I was. Yep, I was in Gettysburg. Not for
You
anything
suck.
paranormal. Not for anything paranormal.
Oh,
I was there for my birthday bar crawl. I do it every year. So Gettysburg is like not just good for the ghosties, but it's good for a lot of other stuff, like having a bar crawl because there's so many bars like within. So I mean, it's walking, so you're not gonna have to get in the car and drive. It's safe. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I was there for my
Yeah,
birthday.
oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, you're an old lady now.
I am an old lady. I've been an old lady. It's just that my
I'm not
my brain doesn't think it's old.
right, and I'm kind of on that same thing. I don't think I'm as old as I look at myself in the mirrors. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm not that
But
old,
but me and the
but I
peach
am.
me and the peaches are going in April for we're staying the week. We're staying for 3 nights and 4 days at it's called the Little Round Top Farmhouse, and it's about, I don't know, 50 steps from the back of Little Round Top. So we're gonna be
Okay.
staying like
Okay.
in the park, and it's gonna be awesome. At a
Right.
place
Right.
at a
When are
place
you
that
doing that?
in April. It's a place that
Okay.
doesn't advertise about being haunted or having any paranormal stuff. It's just I was there visiting somebody one time, and I was reading through. Guests can leave, how their stay was and this and that. And a lot of families will stay there, or people that they're it's like, parents stay for the college because the college is right there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they write in there that they have experiences, and these people aren't in the paranormal. They're just there for family trips or family vacations or for business or for whatever. And people wind up writing in the book, like, I heard something really weird last night. I went to check it out. There's nobody here. It sounded like somebody was walking downstairs. It sounded like, you know what I mean? Like, so like people have experienced stuff there. And like I said, it's not advertised as being a haunted location, which is something that has been appealing to me a little bit more.
Right. Right. Now, you still have that paranormal itch, don't you?
I do. I do. For investigating, yes, for sure.
Right. Right. I mean, it's. I guess I look at it as, I've been doing this for a while now, and there was a time where I just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but I
I'm
think
getting there.
everybody kind of goes, yeah,
I'm getting there.
everybody goes through it,
Yeah, I'm
but
getting there. Like it's because of all the drama. There's just so much drama and so
oh
much
yeah,
so much like ugliness in around. Like
right,
I just all I want to do is like I want to do my you know I remember saying like all I want to do is my podcast. And I'm going to investigate with my girls and my friends. The peaches and my friends that
right,
that I've had,
hmm
and help out my friends that run events or do paracons and stuff like that. I love helping out to do that, but there's just so much, like everybody's so angry and on edge, and like everybody's so the climate is just ugh. So it's kind of like
it's really gotten
yeah,
to where it's a kind of a bad taste in your mouth, and
yeah,
it's sad because when I first started doing it, even back in the I don't know, it was around when I was kind of really getting into it. I mean, I've done it my whole life, but I mean, it was just more or less of when I started making a social presence, around 19, 18, 19. And it was just the shows were still hot, and, everybody was
yeah,
coming out with different ones and new ones. And, it was more like it was like an oversaturated scene, but then it just kind of like, a lot of those shows just got canceled. They weren't profiting anymore. And I don't know why. I mean, I love the show Ghost Hunters. I always have,
yeah. Ghost Hunters is
and I've
good.
always respected Jason and Steve and Tango and even Sherry. I'm friends with Sherry on Facebook, and she's so nice.
Yeah,
And
she is.
I mean, she's one of those people where um, you could pretty much ask her anything. So it's just there's people out there like that, but I mean, as of late, I mean, there's so much drama and so much infighting and people pulling restraining orders and calling the
Screenshot.
cops, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh gosh,
screenshot.
it's
If I
it's
hear
just like
screenshot one
it's
more time, I'm gonna gouge my ears out.
right. It's like just stop. I'm like, just stop, shut up. You're in this for the wrong reasons. If you want this fame and fortune, just do something else because that's not it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the money to create your own TV show, by all means, then do it. But just stop with all
Like
the drama
when I
and
first started doing this, like it was about the investigations. It was about
yeah,
raising money for local historical places. It wasn't about being on a freaking banner or,
right.
how many banners can I get on and how many events can I be, you know what I mean? Like it was just about doing local events.
How important can I be if I go to all of these paracons and get my name on a banner and look at me and it's like just stop.
Um,
Just stop.
um,
If you're in for the paranormal to investigate and to help out families or businesses or finding information or doing the research to find the truth, by all means, but stop with the drama. Stop
yeah,
with the infighting. Stop with everything. It's just getting old. And
yeah, it
it's just
really is. It's getting exhausting, actually.
it is very disgusting. Right. I
No,
just
I
and
said,
I see
I-
all those things on Facebook and I just scroll by and I'm like, yeah, I just
yeah,
same with politics. I don't I just scroll, or
yeah,
I'll do something and I'll be like, yeah, snooze, snooze. I don't want to see
exactly,
it.
exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
just
Well, what I said, I didn't say disgusting. I said
but
exhausting. It's very exhausting to try to, and for me, as you know, having a podcast, it's you have to be able to network in order to keep your
mhm,
podcast going. If you're a podcast that has guests, right, and that's Paranormal Brew has
right.
been like that for a long time, and
Hmm.
lately because of how ugly it is. Like it's just been more difficult to get guests on because there's just so much like nobody cares about um just having a conversation. Coming on a show and having a conversation.
Right,
It's
right,
about, and I have to be honest with you because of the exhaustion of all of it, like I haven't really been seeking out people, you know what I mean? Like I normally do. Like
right, right,
but like in conversation comes up and I'm like, yeah, let's do it, come on, whatever. But there's been a couple of shows lately where it's just been me and I've just been talking, you know, about
right,
paranormal stuff
right.
or, going over things and, but I don't know.
Do you have? I'm going to ask you this. I think we've talked about this before, and I think that you don't you have activity in your house
So I
because I
don't,
just heard something.
oh, you did.
I did. I heard a male voice.
Okay. So, um, as far as I know, it's not something all the time, but I don't know. Like I know I've heard. So um I don't know what it is. A few times I have heard things and have experienced some things. Um like maybe about a month or two ago, I was up late. I couldn't sleep. I was on the couch upstairs and I heard a male voice and I heard the man say, I even forget what he said. It was like, um, "How you doing?" or something, or "What are you doing?" Um, I did talk about this on one of my shows, so I can always try to remember what was said. But he
Hmm.
sounded he sounded far away, but in the house and not outside. And
Right,
again, like
right.
1 o'clock in the morning. So I got up, as scared as I was. I got up because I was scared, right? I mean, you hear a male voice. My first thought
Right,
is that a person? You know what I mean? Like,
right, right,
you know.
right.
So I got up and I started looking at all the windows outside the windows and stuff and looking around, and there was nobody there. It sounded
Hmm.
too close to just be somebody walking by outside.
Hmm.
I have really good ears and I sit in silence a lot. Like if I'm home by myself, I don't put the TV on. I don't,
Right, right,
I
right.
don't do that kind of
I
stuff.
do that
So
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my ears are kind of used to the quietness. I'll sit there on my phone.
Hmm.
I don't need the TV on. Um, so I know what it sounds like when somebody's outside walking by talking or, this and that, and it didn't sound that way. And I'm not saying that it was paranormal. I just can't explain where it came from or what it was.
Right.
Um,
Right.
there's been a few things that I've heard again. I heard the same thing. You know, our bedroom is downstairs, and upstairs I heard talking what sounded like a woman's voice, but it was mumbly, more mumbly, where I couldn't make out the
Mm-hmm.
words. That happened once. Um, but nothing to where I would be like, oh yeah, this is a haunted. You know, my house is haunted. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I've
Mm-hmm.
ever, and it might be my own psyche because my mom passed in my house, so these voices I heard were after that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know if that's me, my mind just kind of. Although I wasn't thinking about it when I was sitting on the couch, and why it would sound like a male, I have no idea. But um, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's the two things that have happened that I know that have stuck in my head where I was like, you know, you get that feeling like, yes, I'm an investigator. Yes, if I hear something, I go check it out. But I can't lie, I'm not scared. I'm scared. You know what I mean? I'm like, what was
Right.
that? So I mean, the two things gave me that feeling of being scared, but I can't explain what it is, what it was.
Right. So let me ask you, um, what was it, a couple years ago that you were doing that investigation or whatever, that walkthrough of that house in Gettysburg, and I was on the phone with you?
Yeah,
Do you that was so much fun, actually.
that was.
Um, that is something that I want to be able to do again because I've done it for other people and with good results. And I think I posted one of them on my YouTube page, my Studio Six Media page, when I was with Kelly Schaefer, and she was uh, investigating a home of a friend of hers or something like that. And I really want to be able to kind of do that again and to help out. Um, but my when I bring up Gettysburg, it's because I've been trying to raise money for my campaign to be able to create my documentary company, that I want to be able to go to Gettysburg and to film and to do their history research and tell stories that are not readily available, and kind of
Mhm.
behind the scenes. So Gettysburg has been on my mind a lot lately. And then the one time that I seen, I don't know, I see your name or something, and I'm like, I reached out to you because I'm like, I really got to talk to her because when it comes to Gettysburg, and I think of you because the fact that I told you you belong there, and
Yeah,
why you're still not there is beyond me.
I know. Life, right? Life
Hmm.
happens. It sucks, but well,
It
I don't say,
does,
but
but you
life
can
happens.
make it happen, and I've told you that several times.
I'm hoping one day. I know I keep saying that, but um, it's why I got the coordinates tattooed on my arm because when I escape from the
Nice.
nursing home, people will be like, "Oh, that's where she's from. We'll take her there and drop her off."
Right, right. Or when you run away,
Yeah,
then they probably wrote it down, and then they said, well, this is where she's probably going to be.
yeah, for sure.
You
Well,
know.
anybody that knows, if I
So
ever go missing, anybody knows that's where to try to find me first, for
that's
sure.
yeah, that'll be
That's
the
one
first
day.
place they look.
That would
Oh,
be the
she's
first
just
place
in
I go.
Gettysburg.
Yep.
Yeah. Um. So, and sticking with the Gettysburg kind of theme, was there some place that you want to go to that you haven't been able to go to in Gettysburg, or have you been everywhere?
No, I'm trying to think if there's a place. I mean, to investigate wise, you mean, or just go?
Yeah.
Well, to
Yeah.
investigate, I would love to investigate the Eisenhower farmhouse, uh,
Okay.
and also the Sherfy house, which is across the street from the peach orchard. Those are the two houses that, if I could get, oh my gosh, if I could get in there, I'm not a psychic medium, and I don't feel things, or I don't like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. Um, but
Right.
but walking through the Eisenhower house, I could feel it. Like, and
Right. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
to me feels
Right.
like it's Ike and Mamie, it's Eisenhower and Mamie, and like first of all, I always tell everybody if I die, if heaven is what I think it is, which is whatever it is you want it to be is what your heaven is, right?
Hmm.
I'm going to be at the Eisenhower farmhouse in Gettysburg. That's where I'm going to be. My ghost, because I was like, it's it's like it's beautiful. You can watch sunsets there. You always have visitors. There's
All
animals.
those spirits are gonna be like, all these spirits are gonna be like, who the heck is this lady?
Yeah, I'll be busting up in
You
there.
know, where did she come from? We've got more we've got more tourists on this side than they do on that side,
Yep,
you know?
yep.
So
And that's the thing. You always have company. There's animals there
yeah.
because it's still an active farm. They still
Hmm.
do farming on there. So there's animals there. So yeah, that would be the prime location for me as a ghost for sure if you could do that. But I would love to
Now
investigate there.
now, still sticking with Gettysburg, and because of the fact that this is the diner, paranormal diner that we're sitting in,
Yeah.
and we are talking about spirits, what is your best memory investigating in Gettysburg? Something that really made you take a step back and was like, "Holy cow!"
Um, my goodness.
You probably got a couple of them.
I mean, I mean, I've I've experienced a lot in Gettysburg. Um,
Hmm.
what surprises me most is it's a lot of it is intelligent, and when I say that, it's like EVPs or disembodied voices caught on the recorder as well. Um,
Hmm.
uh, but I would say the biggest one would be what turned me to want to investigate and be in the paranormal field. I didn't get into this until I watched Ghost Hunters. That started in 2004. I was just like an enthusiast. Like I love the paranormal, but I wanted nothing to do with it. I didn't want to see a ghost. I didn't want to hear a ghost. I didn't want to know
Right.
parts of it. I was scared of it. Although I was like I watched, unsolved mysteries and sightings and
I
you
hated
know
that show. That
sightings
freaks me out.
and like I used to read scary stories to tell in the dark and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then Ghost Hunters came out, but I didn't. I went to Gettysburg for the first time in 2006, and my mom was more into the paranormal than I was. Like she wanted to see a ghost, and I was like, "You're crazy." So the first time I went there, and I had an experience, and after I had that experience, I was like, "That wasn't that bad." Now I want to know more. I
Hmm.
want to know how this occurred. I want to
Right.
know what occurred and what happened and how it happened. Um, and that was intelligent. My mom wanted to sign us up for an extreme ghost hunt. Now, mind you, I am totally an enthusiast. Like I'm like I know nothing. I know nothing at this point. And we go on this ghost hunt, and we went back to a place called the Creek Bed. It's behind Steinwire Ave in Gettysburg. And one, I'm standing there and I'm listening. They gave us equipment. The people that were running the investigation and stuff, and we're standing there, and they're doing an investigation but also trying to teach us stuff too at the same time.
Hmm.
And um and um all of a sudden one side of me is like freezing cold. That was the strangest feeling I've ever had. I've never experienced anything like it since, but one side was really
Hmm.
cold, one side was like normal temperature. And I was holding a K2 meter. I know what that is now, but at the time I was holding a K2 meter, and that was like going, like the colors were going up. And I said to them, because they had told us, if you feel anything, you hear anything, say what you're feeling or hearing or whatever, right? So I was like, hi, I said, one side of me is freezing cold, this side's warm. So they start kind of like paying attention, a little bit of attention, right? They're like, okay. And one of the gentlemen wanted to come near me to see if I guess if he could feel the coldness, whatever. Well, as soon as he started to come near me, the coldness went away. When he backed
Hmm.
up, it came back. He went away. It came back when he came near me. This happened several times.
Hmm.
So then they said, okay, let's see what it would be like if a woman approached you. So they sent a woman towards me. Same thing happened.
Well,
So they start doing an EVP session, and one of the questions that she asked was, "Do you like her?" Well, when they stopped it and listened back, you hear a gentleman's voice say, "No, I love her." And I was like, "What was that?" like, like I was floored because I was standing there with everybody else and nobody was talking.
right.
Um, so that I would have to say is, and I have had many experiences since then with so many different things in Gettysburg, and not in Gettysburg, but I go to Gettysburg a lot. Um, that's what got me into it. So that to me is probably the best thing that's ever happened because it got me into the field.
Hmm. Well, I I've been through quite a few different um, walkthroughs over the years, and even in person. And the one thing that I remember,
What are you doing?
connecting with it or getting that initial feeling of something around you is kind of electrifying in itself. It's you, not only do you get, you have the hair that stand up on your neck, and you got all this, these kind of emotions, but isn't it? I think that you agree that depending on how many times that you go and you're investigating or whatever, it's still exhausting,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know. And
Sure.
it's not like you can just go someplace and be like, oh yeah, and then feel great afterwards. All that
Right.
energy and the frequencies and all that stuff, and it really can wipe you out. And so some of the people that I would say that may be listening to this or whatever, and they want to get into the paranormal, they want to do investigations, you really kind of make sure that you're up to it, because it'll be mentally and physically exhausting, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm sure
Oh
that,
yeah. You're up all
when
night.
you were experiencing, yeah, and I can't do that anymore. Shit. Yeah, no, I can't. I mean, I seriously, I can. I tried to do that. I went down with my friend Kelly and the team, K2 Paranormal Research in Tennessee, and we went to Kentucky at um, what's the Waverly,
hmm
and I went to Waverly Hills, and I was in so much pain by the time I got done and got back to the farmhouse, which was haunted, by the way, too, the Airbnb. I was just like, I laid on the bed and I just passed out, and
Right.
I was out. So if anything spiritual could came, I would have never even heard him. I would have slept through a thunderstorm. I would have slept through everything because I was like, after that, I just was wiped out. You know,
Yeah.
I did. I experienced a lot of emotional things there because of who I am, but I was more irritated that my body was not cooperating with me. My body
Yeah.
was like, "What are you doing? You can't do this anymore. You don't have the strength to keep up with these young bucks that are in their 20s and even 30s who are running around like you know kids in a playground. You
Yeah.
can't keep up." And realizing that, and it's kind of disheartening, but there again, it is what it is. And when you get that age, and it's kind of like, okay,
That's
if
why.
I can't
That's why me.
investigate overnight investigations, what do I do now?
Yeah.
It's like there's lots of things you can do.
That's why me and my girls, we're all the same age, around all the same age, so we're good. When we're tired, we're all tired. So
Right. Yeah. So there are other places in Gettysburg. What is your favorite?
um,
Like just a place just to visit.
Little Round Top is my other favorite because of the sunset. I love it there. Little Round Top.
Hmm.
I've also had paranormal experiences there, or unexplained, experiences, I should say. Um,
Right.
but Little Round Top is probably my favorite. I love Little Round Top. I love. It's kind of off the beaten path, and a lot of people don't know about it. But it's called East Calvary Battlefield. You got to kind of, if you feel like you're driving out of town, but you're not. But you do have to drive a little. It's a separated from the rest of the park, but or the battlefield. A lot of people call it the battlefield, so it's like another battlefield. And it's always so peaceful there. It is so peaceful there. Um,
I've seen
so
pictures of you there
yeah,
that you've posted.
yeah, I like East Calvary, and I love Little Round Top. Um, oh my gosh, where else? The Rose Farm. So the Rose Farm is a farm that you can pull down, and they have working horses there that give tours during the summer and stuff like that, and um, they keep their horses on this farm, so you can actually go down there and just sit and chill, and the horses are so friendly. They just come up to you and you can pet them, and you know what I mean. So sometimes I like to go there just to kind of hang out. There's nowhere to sit. Like you got to sit on your car or
Hmm.
bring a blanket to sit on, but that's also peaceful. There's a lot of quiet, peaceful little places you can go in Gettysburg. So
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I have yet to be there. Um, I I really want to go, and hopefully this year. I'm hoping. But so talk a little bit about some of the other places that you've been to that you had some really good experiences with the paranormal.
so so Rolling Hills Asylum was amazing in New York. Um, Octagon Mansion in Withville, Virginia. Um, that was really cool. Uh, Hinsdale House. Um,
Yeah.
when we've gone there, we've had some pretty awesome experiences. Sweet Home Estates, that's also New York. It's crazy, like West Hill Mansion. I'm sorry, White Hill Mansion and West Hill Manor. A lot of places.
Hmm.
Rolling Hills and Sweet Home Estates. Those two gave us really perplexing investigations. Like, for example, Rolling Hills. You know, we thought that there were people walking around outside the building because we could hear people talking. Um,
Hmm.
and we did a day investigation, so that wouldn't have been too weird, you know what I mean, to hear that. However, while you're in the moment, you forget. Now, the woman that runs and owns the place is very strict, and there's nowhere for anybody to like really walk around out there. And while you're in the middle of investigation, you don't think about that kind of stuff. You just automatically, your mind automatically always tries to find a logical explanation, or gives you a logical explanation for something that you're experiencing. I tell people that all the time when they ask, "Aren't you scared?" I'm like, "Well, before you figure out what's going on, it's over with usually. It happens so fast, whatever you
Right.
experience,
Yeah.
because your mind is still trying to figure out what just happened." But
Yeah.
we were investigating. We kept thinking that there were people outside, and we were getting so frustrated because we were like, "This is ruining our audio." You can hear us on there. You can hear the voices. You can hear us, like, we're going to all the windows and trying to see if we can see people, and there's nobody out there. Um, we finally wind up asking the owner later on. She's like, "No." She's like, it's fenced off. Nobody's allowed in this property unless I know they're coming and they've paid to be here. Like, nobody. And we said, "Well, do the people across the street ever?" And they're like, "No." And they don't have kids. Because at one point we did hear kids. We just thought people were like walking around the property checking the place out. And she's like, "I don't let people just walk around the property." So the whole time we're like getting frustrated and mad, but here we're capturing something that isn't what we think it is.
Right.
um
Right. Right.
which
So if
was
you would have been in that frame of mind
right.
to think, okay, there really isn't anybody outside, so what
Right.
is this?
Right.
Then your brain would have been, it would have been a different thought process.
For sure. And we were setting up. So there's an area where it's like, you got a couple of rooms, you have this really long hallway, and at the end of the hallway is the chapel. And I had some, we were setting up our equipment, and I said, I'm going to go down to the chapel. And all of a sudden, I hear this weird voice say chapel. And I right away go to the girls, did somebody just say chapel? And they say, no, no, no. I'm like, I just heard chapel. So right away, then I got to run down the hallway. I'm like stopping my recorders. Sure enough, you hear me say, I'm going to go down to the chapel. And then, like, a couple seconds later, you hear some chapel. Like, you hear this thing, and, we're like, whoa. So we had really cool experiences there. Sweet Home Estates, the weird thing that happened there was so this when we went there, it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after my mom passed. So I didn't even know if I was going to go because I was still really pretty distraught over that. But it was a
Right.
weekend with my girls, and there could have been not better medicine than that is being with them. Like, I love being with the Paranormal Peaches. I love being with them. Like, they lift my soul up. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna
Mhm.
go. I brought none of my equipment with me. Totally forgot my equipment. So all I had was my phone, and we were investigating. So I was using my phone to take pictures. I was using my phone to record audio. I was using my phone for everything because I didn't bring anything. And so I had it with me very closely the whole weekend. And then, so at one point, I'm like, "Where's my phone?" And we're all looking around. So now I have a bad habit of losing things. I do, and finding them in, like, within a certain amount of time, a reasonable amount of time. But
Mhm.
because I have ADHD, so I get distracted. I do have
No.
I do have a habit of losing things. So naturally, that's what I thought happened. I'm like, oh my gosh, my brain. So I went back into the room we were just in. I start looking for it. I don't find it. I'm like really looking. I'm looking all over, looking in bags. Finally, it gets to be about 20 minutes in, and then the rest of the girls start going, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "I'm looking for my phone. Like, I have no idea where it's at." So, so one or two of them start to help because at this point, it's not really that big of a deal yet, right? So then
Mhm.
none of us are finding it. We're like, "Where's the last place you had it?" And I'm like, "We're over here." Jay, I'm not kidding you. For 2 hours straight, we even tried to do Google Find My Phone. I mean, I looked in places that I know I didn't go, but because I felt crazy, I looked anyway. Like, I looked inside the refrigerator. Like, that's how bad it started to get. Like, I was so frustrated, I was almost in tears because I was like, "Where is my phone?" We couldn't find it. We lifted up our air mattresses and shook them out. We looked in everybody's suitcases and everybody's equipment bags. Like, we looked under stuff, under couches, under when I tell you we literally turned this place inside out, we did, right? And and I am not exaggerating. It went on for about 2 hours. And then we started to get frustrated because we're like, we're supposed to be investigating, but we're looking for Terrence's freaking phone, right? Like, and I'm feeling guilty. I was at my wits' end. I sat down on the couch and I was like, I don't even know. And all of a sudden, you hear this boom in the other room. So one of the other girls goes in the other room, and you hear her go, "Oh my God." She's like, "Your phone is on the air mattress." I'm like, "What?" We literally flipped that up. We had it upside down. We took the sheets off, everything. It wasn't on that air mattress. And all of a sudden it was after 2 hours of looking. Like, I literally was almost in tears. I was so frustrated and like,
Mhm.
just so, like, we all were frustrated because we couldn't find it anywhere. And we
Mhm.
heard this thump, and then one of the girls went in, and they were like, "Oh my God, your phone's sitting on the air mattress." I cannot explain that. I don't know what that is. I feel like one of the girls looked it up. It's called something, but I don't know what it's called. Like, in the paranormal realm,
Yeah,
it's
I
called
I've had
something.
that. I've had that happen before. Um, Somebody I knew passed away, and um, there's one day I was looking for my keys, and I knew when they where they were the whole time. had the same spot. I never take them anywhere else, and they were gone. And I'm like, something suspect here. So I looked around everywhere, and I'm like, okay. And then I knew who it was. And I'm like, just put them back, dude.
I don't know. I
I need
I
my
literally was
keys.
I was blaming myself. Like I just thought, but it's crazy how it didn't show up for 2 hours, and all of a sudden we heard that we're all in the living room then, and we're all at a loss at this point. We're like, what the hell, you
Right,
know? Like, what else are we supposed to do? We were about to go wake up the owner because now it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We're about to go wake him up and be like, "Can you rewind the footage?" But then we remembered we told him we didn't want the foot because he has security cameras the whole place.
right.
And I think we told him that we didn't want them recording, but I can't remember. I mean, we were like gonna go ask him. Um, yeah. So one of my peaches is in the chat. I say her. She said it has to
Yeah, I
be
see that.
one of the craziest things I've ever witnessed. Yeah, I can't explain it. Like I said, we were all in the room and were literally we were defeated at this point. Like all of us felt defeated. And I know it's not so stupid because
Right.
it was just looking for a phone,
So
but
so in the for future reference, if that ever happens to you again, like
yeah,
5 minutes in there, you can't find it, and say, okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Somebody's got my phone, give it back, and and then that would save you 2 hours of.
yeah, no. I mean, I'm pretty sure we said it. I mean, I'm telling you, we did everything like that came whether no matter how crazy it was or not crazy, we did everything. Like it was the craziest thing like Dana said, I've ever witnessed or even experienced because I can't explain that. I mean, it was such an intense search party for my
Right.
phone because it was just it was so and I'm going to say even the way we were searching for my phone was weird. When we after I found him, we like were looking back, I was like we were going over each other's steps even. We got to a point where like I would look in Dana's bag and then I'd look in Lauren's bag and then I'd look in my bag and then Dana would be right behind me looking through the bags and Lauren would be right behind her looking through the bags. Like we were like frantically looking for it. It was insane. But you know,
It sounds like to me. It sounds like to me. I mean, I guess you've talked about the peaches for a long time since I've known you. I mean, it seems like you guys laugh a lot.
oh, we
You
have
guys have a lot of fun.
we do.
Have you ever had like the giggles to the point where you were
Yes.
interrupting a investigation? That's
Oh,
kind of what I'm seeing
every
here.
time. Every time. Every time we investigate, we something happens where we just and it happens often, few times. Like
Mhm.
it happens a lot. We have because we have a lot of fun together. It's not we aren't doing it to prove it to anybody. We want to do it because
Right.
we want to have our experiences and we want to
You're not serious all the time. Let's enjoy what we're doing.
and yeah, and we have fun together. And that's what's important. We trust each other. We know we're not going to like
Hmm.
fake anything. We know we're not going to like, do anything like that. So we have a lot of fun. We always wind up doing something. We'll go out to, we always try to make a weekend out of it at least. So we'll go out to dinner
Hmm.
together, or we'll order pizzas and stuff and, have a glass of wine if we can, you know what I mean? Just whatever, you know what I mean? And then we'll investigate. We investigate all the time. Yeah, Dana.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It sounds like
Dana,
you guys are.
yeah. Yeah, sometimes we're laughing so hard and Dana's like in EVP mode. She'll get yelled at. We'll get yelled at by Dana. But she's like the mom of the group.
Yeah.
We love her. But she's like our mom.
Right.
She yells at
Right.
me and
Right.
Jossie get yelled at a lot. Because me and Jossie are like the siblings that you gotta keep us apart or else we just laugh the
I
entire time.
kind of have this feeling. I'm kind of seeing this a little bit. Has there ever been an incident where you guys are enjoying and laughing and this and that, and something with the spirits or spirits kind of chimes in?
Yep. It happens a lot actually. Hinsdale it happened. It happened a couple of times at Hinsdale. But yeah. And we say that all the time. Like we call ourselves, we were like, we sound like a bunch of cackling hens. Like no matter where we go, we're always the loudest. We go to a restaurant, we're so loud. And our husbands and they'll be like, when they're around us, they're like, how do you guys understand each other? Because you guys are all talking over each other and laughing and doing that. We just
Right.
do. And we don't miss anything. Like we have our own way of communicating and we get it by now, But like
Hmm.
what we joke about it. We say like we think this, like wherever we're at, the spirits are love that. They love that, hearing the laughing and the joking, and we're not we're not paying attention. So it's like, hey,
Hmm.
I'm here, you know what I mean? Like they do something to try to get our attention because we're not paying attention. We're paying attention to ourselves. So yeah.
Right. Right. So who's the diva in the group?
Diva. I don't know if we have a diva. I don't
Oh,
know if we
you
have
gotta have a diva.
I don't know if we have a diva. I'd have to consult with them. I'm not sure. I don't know if we have a diva. We have this sweet and innocent one, which is Lauren. Um, like I said, Dana's like she's like the mom of us. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in age
Hmm.
wise. I mean just I don't know. She's Italian.
Right. Right.
She's you listen to you listen. We just tend to listen to her. She's the one that keeps us
I
all.
would love to investigate with you guys.
Yeah,
Seriously, that would be so much fun.
yeah. We do. We have so much fun together. Um,
Hmm.
and it's a good. We have a good mix. Like none of us are psychic mediums. None of us, are have this any claim to anything. We just kind of go in and investigate. And
Hmm.
we have different belief systems. We have different religion beliefs. We have different, but it never interferes with anything. We just go in and investigate,
Hmm.
and that's that. We have fun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like that group of girls has been kind of more or less your saving grace after your mom passed away, and
Oh
just
yeah.
getting through life in general and this and that. So
Oh
I
for
mean,
sure.
it's good to have a group of people that you can call not just friends but family in that
Oh yeah. They're
aspect.
my sister. They're my soul
So
sisters.
right. I mean, and you and I have known each other for 5 6 years. I mean, we talked on the phone, and we've talked about a lot of different things, and even paranormal and just life in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's having good relationships and friendships with people that, even being in the paranormal field, it helps at a lot of with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love the paranormal. I still do. I don't. There's times where I just want to just let it everything to go away, but that's just me because I get bored easy, and
Mm-hmm.
I like change in that aspect, you know. So, but yeah, so I mean, it's just kind of, I don't ever want to get complacent in that where I don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think having friends like having friends like you, and even having other friends like Dave Taylor that I used to have a good relationship with before he passed away. I mean,
Mhm.
it's people like that you know you guys have kind of helped me kind of
Yeah.
keep that in there where I'm not saying screw all this and I don't want all this. You
Right.
can overlook the drama, you can walk away from it, you can sidestep it and not be a part of it. But ultimately, like I said, with you and the Peaches, and you have a good thing going on, and I'm happy for you that you have that group
Yeah.
of people.
Me too.
I have that group with Kelly too, and K2 Paranormal Research. I mean, all those people are great.
Yeah.
We
And that's
investigated a funeral
important.
home in Ohio, and it isn't important, and it was important when we investigated uh, that old funeral home in Ohio, and the camaraderie was great. You know, we
Yeah.
were a big family, and it, you know, even though that we all live where I live, basically away from them because I'm 6 7 hours away.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm like
I
an
just
hour to 2 hours from all of them. They're all in like North Jersey. And then of course Megan lives a little bit outside. She lives in Maryland. Like she lives like 15 minutes from Gettysburg, and then the rest of them live up North Jersey, and I'm from South Jersey. So I live the furthest from all of them. Um, but
hmm
we also just don't do paranormal stuff together. Like they all came to my wedding,
right, right,
birthday
right.
parties and Christmas parties, and you know what I mean. Like we do other stuff together. We have girl weekends where it's not paranormal. We're just going
hmm
and having girl time together.
That's where yeah, that's important. That whole friendship, that's
Yeah.
important. You know, and that's great. You know, so what do you got going on in the next couple months? Anything big, or you just living it, living the dream?
So well, we have the investigation in April in Gettysburg. Um, I think some of the pieces will be going to Penhurst Paracon. I'm not this year. And then we have before that we are investigating Penhurst May 1st. Some of us are going there May 1st to investigate Penhurst. So April is Gettysburg. May 1st is Penhurst. Um, and then in July we have the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Um,
hmm
um, and then in November is the New Jersey Power Unity Expo. But in between there, we have other investigations, little things set up. We're um, uh, little events too. There's like New Jersey Paranormal is putting on some free paranormal event at the Sterling Mine in North Jersey. I think we're going to go to that.
hmm
So we find like things to do and go to. Um, and sometimes it's not paranormal. Like last year, we went and we went to because the Ancient Aliens cast came to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. So we went for that.
hmm
We went to see them. You know what I mean? So we made a weekend out of it because they were going to be there. So yeah, we I'm sure we have a lot of stuff happening.
So tell everybody where they can find you.
YouTube first. That's where I do my show from every Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Except I won't be on this week. I'll be on next week with Jay Hill here. Jay will be on in 2 weeks. Um, but
hmm
Paranormal Brew, you can find it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm mostly active on. I do have an X and a Twitter, but wait, no, X was Twitter, right? I do
Yeah,
have that, but I'm never on it. As you can see, I never go on it. So yeah.
yeah.
Um, but that's it. That's the only place I really want to try to get more away from Facebook and more towards YouTube, but YouTube's just hard.
It is very hard.
Yeah.
I just started my another channel for my music podcast, and yeah, I had to jump through some hoops just to get that thing going.
Yeah, YouTube's
And
hard,
I'm like,
but
holy crap.
yeah. So, I network on Facebook and keep the page going that way, but I try to gear more people towards watching the show on YouTube. So,
hmm
and not for money.
Yeah,
It's just that I hate Facebook.
right,
I hate
right, right,
Facebook.
right.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I
I
get
kind
it.
of want to
I
get away
get it.
from it. So,
Sometimes you have to unplug. You know,
yeah,
sometimes you just need to unplug, and it's important to do that.
for sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
So yeah, but well, I want to thank you for coming on. This has
Thanks for
been
having
fun.
me.
No, and it's great to catch up with you and this and that. And I think that I heard that we're gonna do this next week.
Yes. Yeah. Next week you'll be on the
Okay.
brew. You'll be on the brew.
Yeah. Right. And I love that show too. I mean, you always put on a good show. So
Well,
hats
thank you.
off for that success. You know what I
Thank
mean? So
you.
I'm very happy for you. But
Thank you.
I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. And you could find this on YouTube. Um, it'll be on audio file probably tomorrow. So you'll find this episode up wherever you get your podcast. And yeah, so thank you again.
Bye,
And
everyone.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
Taryn.
Thank you, Jay, for having me on.
Thank you so much. You
Oh,
are very, very welcome.
thank you. And I